so good, it feels so good, it feels so good. Oh my, gonna make my move. I'm all in, got nothing to lose. Oh my, gonna shake it off. It ain't no thing, it ain't no thing. Oh my, doing what I want. Gonna do my thing, do my thing. Way up high and take it low. I'm feeling right from head to toe. Light it up and let it roll. Here I go. Are you ready? Ready to go? Are you ready? Ready for more? Are you ready? Ready for me? Oh my, you ready? Ready or not, we're going. And I can't stop. Are you ready? Ready for me? Oh my, oh my. Gonna hit it big. I got my eyes on the prize. Oh my, gonna spin the wheel, cash it in and roll the dice. Oh my, it's a thing of gold. All I do is win, all I do is win. Oh my, no one ever fold. Start it up, let the game begin. Way up high and take it low. I'm feeling right from head to toe. Light it up and let it roll. Here I go. Are you ready? Ready to go, are you ready? Ready for more, are you ready? Ready for me? Oh my, you ready? Ready or not, we're going. And I can't stop.
Oh, what is up, Martha?
Yes!
You did it.
I'm
you were
good.
ready.
I finally catch the yo, didn't I?
You did. You caught it. You caught it
Sort
great.
of.
You did catch it great. So, how are you today, Martha?
I'm good. I had a really good start of the day. I mean, we started the day looking at YouTube videos of babies and dogs.
As one does. As one does.
Yes.
So, yes. Excellent.
So, good start to the day.
What time? It's 4:30 for you right now?
Oh yeah. So I've already had my day, really.
Yeah, your day is already almost over.
It's 4:30.
Yeah. Cool.
Sure.
So
So what did I do?
You don't even know.
No, I was.
It's a blur.
I had a good day. I did all the things.
You did all the things.
Prep
all right.
for baby. Yeah, I bought the bassinet of the stroller thing.
Yeah.
Do you hear that I'm a mom now because I have the stroller thing?
Yes, you have the stroller.
So that's good. And
I have that for
and then
Patrick
I slept
too.
for
It's
an
amazing.
hour and it's gonna be so much easier to transport him now.
Yeah. So folks may also be wondering where is Patrick? He was on the thumbnail. Where is he? So he had an emergency that came up that prevented him from being here today. So he sends y'all his love, wishes that he could be here. So next Saturday he'll be back.
Yes.
Yes. Matthew.
We'll miss him today.
Matthew, that's not maybe. So that might be the first. It depends. I don't know.
Ah.
All right. Yeah. Okay. So, all right. First off, well, not first off. Welcome everyone. We're glad you're here as well. Hope you had a great start of your weekend. If you are new to the live stream or GuyaNaCube in general, put hashtag new in the chat. We always love seeing the new faces. Just want to welcome you and thank you for being here. It's always a great time. And then with that, let's go. Oh, wait. Oh, sorry. I'm trying to remember all the things. So also shout out to members of GuyaNaCube. You help us do what we do here on the channel. So if you see folks with a green name or the GuyaNaCube logo next to their name, those are members of GuyaNaCube. Thank you so much for helping support us. It's amazing. If you want to learn more, oh, Alex beat me to it. If you want to know more, check out the link on the screen, or we just dropped the link in the chat, and you can hit the join button down below to learn more. No commitment required. So yeah, go ahead and do that. All right. We have rules here on the channel, so let's go through those. First and foremost, I'm going to actually start this first rule up. Where to go? Matthew, I had showed a question that Matthew already asked, and it's a great example of rule number 1. Please put Q colon in front of the question, and Chatmaster C will get it queued up and in the queue ready for us to answer the question. Get the queue is light right now, so get your questions in. And Chatmaster C is standing by. 1 time is all you need, though, which takes us to rule number 2. We have a 3 strikes rule on GuyaNaCube. Don't spam the chat. Don't be that person. Whether it's spamming the question or just spamming the chat in general, make sure 1 time is all you need. The question is in the queue, and we get to as many as we can. We don't get to all of them, so if we don't get to your question, come back next week. We'll try it again. So thank you for that. And then rule number 3, members, stand by. We're going to give it a second here to see what the queue does, because right now there's not a lot of questions in the queue, and so Chatmaster C is potentially just going to jump right into open questions and get member stuff in there. So we'll come back in a second on that. But if you are not a member, get your question in. We still have another minute or so before we make that decision. Also, if you do have a burning question, regardless of the queue, and you need to get something answered, right now, super chats are the way to do it. That jumps priority in the queue, and whether it's member only chat or open chat, that will always be the next question. So sometimes people have to remind me because things get so involved and we go on, but yeah. So Matthew on a spam chat, that's nice. All right. Thank you, Jack. I appreciate you, Jack. So yeah, you can. Oh, SQL Saturday Austin's going on. Okay, I probably should have known that as I'm in Texas. I didn't realize that. Okay. So let's go ahead and we're gonna go into the queue. Members, go ahead because the queue is still very light. So members, just go ahead and put your questions in now. We'll just get them in. Just to keep things going. So if you do have a question, anyone can put it in the chat. Let's roll. And then Alex coming in. Nice. Member for 62 months. I appreciate you, Alex. Shout out to Martha. Love the new content and energy she brings as the gal in a cube with her videos. So a little love for Martha. That's amazing. And yes, she does amazing. She does amazing work. The energy is amazing. Excellent. Thank you, Alex.
Guys.
Yeah. Okay.
Sorry, it's
you're
the hormones. I'm all over the place.
You're all good. You're all good.
Yeah.
It gives you more energy, right? So, okay. Let's go in. Sometimes. Yeah. Oh, we didn't do... Did anyone do hashtag new? I didn't see anyone. There's nobody new today.
Oh, no, we didn't do that.
Nobody new. That's okay. I appreciate everyone that is here. It's great. All right.
Experienced group today.
I think we got through all the things. Let's get into some new. Oh, Kurt, you're new. All right. Well, welcome, Kurt. Amazing. Thank you for being here.
Hi, Kurt.
Excellent. All right, and we're definitely going to get to your question, Kurt. It's in the queue. I see it. And Alex is vintage. That's true. 62 months. That's what in dog years. That's I don't know. Okay, let's go. First question from Guillermo. Any roadmap to enable SQL databases and Fabric notebooks without using PyODBC? Ooh. Do you want to take a stab at that?
This is like
Martha?
an insider.
It's an insider thing.
No, because you know all the secret things, right?
Yeah, but this isn't a secret thing. This is a public thing.
So I don't work. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, my scariest thing. Do you know what it is? It's because
breaking NDA.
Because I'm an MVP. I don't work for Microsoft. Yes, exactly. And then I will hear things, and then I'm like, oh no, wait, where did I hear that?
Can I say that? Can I not say that? So my tip for any like MVPs out there or people that are under NDA and know all the Microsoft things, and you're not sure if you can talk about it or not. My rule of thumb is I pay attention to the most recent keynote that happened. So in this case, the keynote that happened at FabCon. And what did they say in that session? If they said it in that session, it's out. Yeah. So that's the rule of thumb.
That's a good rule. Yeah. That's a good rule.
Oh, and I see a couple other people. So Alfred said they are new, and Purple Player said they were new. So welcome. All right. So let me. I've got two things here to help answer this question. So the first, I'm going to drop a doc link in the chat, and then I'm going to head over to my machine. Let's head over to my machine, Martha.
Yes.
Oh, there we go.
Head over to the laptop.
Yeah. All right. So the article I just dropped in the chat is t-sql support in Microsoft Fabric notebooks. Bam. Guillermo, it's there today. You can do it. But you're like, but wait, this article talks about it from a warehouse's perspective, not SQL databases. So what can I do? Well, here's the thing. If I go into my Contoso, I will see here that I see a SQL database. I'm going to click on that SQL database. And then you'll see here, I can do new queries. I can do all these things, all the SQL-y things, right? But this doesn't help me with the notebook. Cool. So let's go back into the notebook and let's see. Let's see what we can do here. I can do t-sql for analytics, but it's like I need to add my data item here. So I can say, no, I don't want a Lakehouse. I want an existing data source. And I see all of my things here that are like Lakehouses and warehouses and all of that. So like that doesn't help me either. But what I can do here, this is the trick. Go to Contoso, come down to your database, and you're going to see the SQL analytic endpoint right here underneath the database itself. If I go and click on that, then I can go, because I'm in the analytics endpoint at this point. So I can say new SQL query, or I can say new SQL query in Notebook, and this is against the database. So go to town.
Ooh.
Go to town. Go to town. Do it today. Do it today.
Wow.
And there you go. And now I can write
Yes.
in t-sql. Bam. That's cool.
That was cool.
Yeah.
I learned something new.
Yeah. And I'm a manager. So
Yeah.
there you go, Patrick.
Yeah. Yeah, we need to like remember to tell Patrick about this.
Oh no. I'm not worried about
you
that.
You guys have a
I'm not
thing
worried
going.
about that. Not worried about that. Internet's going to do what the internet's going to do. So,
Oh, yeah.
Which actually worries me more than it. Anyway.
Exactly.
Okay. All right. So there you go, Guillermo. Like there should be that SQL analytical endpoint on the database, and you can use that with a notebook now. So now the one thing I would say that I didn't see that would be good feedback for the team, for the feature team, would be when I go to the notebook to add the resource, it'd be kind of cool. I didn't see the t-SQL analytical endpoint for the SQL database in that list, and I don't know why that was. So, but that's a small thing. Like you can still get to it, so it still works. There you go, Gaston. I knew you wouldn't fail me. Oh, yes. Yeah, there's the keynote. Yeah. So if you haven't watched the keynote from FabCon, Patrick took a little bit of a jab at me and Kim Manis, and we loved it. It was hilarious. But yeah, back at you, Patrick. All right, going into the queue. This was a member question, so we'll go ahead and run with it. Darren, what do you got? I can't read that. I need new glasses. I was day before yesterday years old when I learned you should put reports in a pro workspace instead of an F2. Is this really considered the best practice to keep F2 costs down? Ooh. So one thing I would say, I want to say it depends, but I shouldn't say it depends. Yeah. Everyone's kind of like, it depends. In general, I don't, I think that so there are a couple things that you potentially lose or gain from doing this. One is if the report's not in a premium capacity, anyone who's consuming it needs a pro license. And so if you're a small shop, maybe that helps you. And the fact that you're doing an F2, you're looking at that maybe. I don't know from a documented licensing perspective if there's anything there. I would validate that to see if there's anything that says, I mean, technically you can do it.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But just know that anyone on the pro workspace side, they all need to have a license. And so that's not, yeah. So user 457 bringing out, so any of the features you get with a capacity backed workspace, you also lose, right? So the schedule refresh though, that would be on the semantic model, which in this case, I'm assuming is on the F2, whereas the report is in the pro workspace. So, but there are other things there that can be an issue. Yeah. So
exactly. But I have seen clients do this. So I have seen it like happen, but it's very dependent on the licensing, because that's going to be are you actually saving money on this or not?
Alex brought up a good point too, is that with the F2, like your semantic model's on there, and so you've got limits as well, and so be aware of the limits on that side. So the consumption, yes. So the capacity consumption is on the semantic model. So even the reports being in a pro workspace, I don't know how much that actually saves you, because it's the semantic model where you're going to get the consumption. So
yeah, it depends on how what is the pretty the baby is, or like ugly baby. What you did with the semantic model, and if you went crazy, like how heavy is your semantic model? So, but you should always try to make your semantic model beautiful, regardless.
So. Yeah, and I agree in that sense. If your semantic model's in the F2, like what does that pro workspace really buy you? I don't know. Like you're actually paying potentially more because you need the pro licenses on top of it. So yeah, those are. But
I have seen very heavy semantic models being
Yeah.
pulled into the pro workspaces.
So I would
but then
go
I would
back-
say so if
go
you're
ahead.
if you're merging and going from like the old school warehouse setup, and then you're going into Fabric, you might have some very heavy semantic models because that's how they were built. Then I have seen some clients do that, but then your goal should probably be to re-engineer that at some point and cut it up into better pieces and so on, and then this won't become a problem in general.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Christina brought up a good point too. I always forget about I don't have to deal with those problems, so I don't see them every day and forget about it. To get the benefit of not needing the pro license, you need an F64 or higher. So an F2, you still need the pro license. So like what's the actual problem you're trying to solve, I guess, is the better question. Like what's the challenge you're exhibiting? Like the fact that you even have a semantic model on an F2, does it need it? Like what's the semantic model doing? Like what's that versus just an import model in a pro workspace? Like those are all things. So
Yeah. That's a consultant.
Matthew. Oh, Matthew. Wait, I'm gonna share this, Matthew. Matthew and I had a phone call yesterday. We talk to each other fairly regularly. And like he was bringing up things on his end, and I kept throwing his words like back at him. And it was very entertaining. He's like, "Damn it!" So it was a fun call. So Toma, you're correct saying that so the authors still need pro licenses, but from a distribution perspective, consumers don't on a F64 or higher or a P1 and higher. So yeah. Yep. So I was looking, I didn't see any more comments on like what was trying to be done. So Darren, if you did have more info on that, would love to know what the challenge is there that you're trying to solve. All right, moving on. Kurt. Also, just a reminder at this point, we're just doing, if you are a member, feel free to get your question in. We're just doing open chat. So, all right, Kurt, what are current best practices for converting existing semantic models using ADLS Gen 2 connection over to Direct Lake? We have a boatload. So existing semantic models over to Direct Lake. Okay, so what I hear when I say that is we've got the semantic model, and you've got a connection to an ADLS. Okay, all right, I think I understand now. Got it. So we want to move this an import or direct query model. I'm going to assume an import model, and we want to move that over to Direct Lake. Martha, what do you think?
Well, the best practices. Didn't Patrick have a video on this?
Yeah, I thought he did. So this one is, there's options. I wouldn't say best practice in this case, but you do have some different options.
Does it depend?
So it absolutely depends. There is, hang on a second. I need to be able to spell. Spelling is hard. So I'm trying to go to, I'm dropping a chat or link into the chat. I'm not dropping a chat into the link. And so Semantic Link Labs is one of those items where it can do a lot. And if you go, there are some code samples for, let me see if there's a code sample for Direct Lake. Well, that didn't help. I want to say they had one. Yeah, there you go. Yeah. Oh, that goes the other way. So they have one for converting a Direct Lake model to import mode. I don't know if there's another one. I'm sure there's another one. Yeah. So go through that link the second link I just dropped. Go through that as well, and there's like code samples for doing different things with Direct Lake, so you can do some things there. And I think Phil Seamark had a blog also, maybe, or I know he did some stuff on that as well. So maybe not. I don't know. I'm looking.
It sounds like a Phil C. Mark.
Yeah, like Phil was involved in some of
does.
it, but I think Michael Kowalski did some of the stuff with the Semantic Link Lab piece. So there are options there. Yep. So code share and it works. Yeah, I mean, in terms of automating that, you could look at like the scripts themselves initially go after an individual model. But then you can go through and you could potentially figure out loops and get a list of data sets, loop things and pass things in from a parameter perspective. So I don't have anything offhand that does that, but that's an approach I would take for like if we're going down the Semantic Link Labs route, that would be a way. So yep. So that'll take some code. All right. Oh, Martha found Patrick's video. Amazing.
I found it. There was
right.
something.
I don't remember what he did in that video. I don't know if Semantic Link Lab was part of it, but there you go. There you go.
There's a video.
All right.
Yeah. So Patrick is part of the stream.
Yes. Here you go. Oh, wait.
That's not efficient.
There you go. All right. Jarrell coming in with a super chat. Thank you so much, Jarrell. With a question. Suggestions on printing a dashboard, not a report. So we're talking about the actual dashboard object with inside or dashboard item with inside of Power BI. And you want to print that. So screenshot?
Can you pull it into Power BI if there's a dashboard? No, PowerPoint? PowerPoint.
I was going to say, I'm like, I don't understand.
Then you can print the PowerPoint.
No, so the
sorry.
PowerPoint
Like
add-in's
messed
only
up.
for like reports and visuals, not for dashboards. That's what Carrie said the same thing. I said, screenshot? I don't know. Like, maybe you just grab your phone and like, don't do that. Do a screenshot instead. The photos of the monitors, don't do that. That looks bad. Yeah. So yeah, there's no like official print option there. So yeah. All right. Sorry, Jarrell. And I'm pretty sure I would say go to ideas.fabric.microsoft.com and get your feedback in, but I'm pretty sure it's just not going to happen. I don't want to guess on why. I get it. If you're actually using a dashboard, I can get why you would potentially want to print it, but I don't know. So yeah. Okay, let's go. Loretta. Loretta said, is it possible to join Saturday Morning Learning? The answer there is absolutely yes. Let me pull up. Hang on. I meant to update the bot command that I have for SML. So SML. So I will do that after this. But Jessica sent me. Need to find it. Where is it? Hang on. Let's make sure this link works before I put it out to everyone. There we go. All right. Here's the link you can go to learn more. Saturday Morning Learning. And then that will give you instructions on how to go and how to join. So enjoy. I will update the command after this. But there you go. Jessica hooked me up. And or Kevin did. One of them worked on it. I forget which, but thank you to all of them for helping with that. All right. Facilis, I think, has a question. As PPU licensed, I want to create a centralized data set connected to my Gen 1 data flow with incremental refresh, requires PPU. Is there a way to grant view-only access to colleagues with Power BI Pro?
Wait, I need to read this again. My brain is not braining.
I'll read it again. So they've got PPU. They've got a PPU workspace, and they've got a data set. They want a centralized data set that's leveraging Gen 1 data flows with incremental refresh, which is a PPU specific or premium feature. So they've got their content in a PPU workspace. Is there a way for people with only Pro to access that as a view only? The answer is no. The answer is no. Yeah, no. So if you have content in a PPU workspace, you have to have a PPU license to ask that or to access that. So no, there's no way to do it. The other approach would be is if you went full capacity, F64 or above, then that consumers of Power BI could leverage that from a view only. So, but yeah, you need a PPU license. Yeah, or it sounds like I'm saying pew 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 pew, a pew pew license. Yeah,
Premium per user.
Yep. So nope, you need that.
Pew.
All right. Moving on. Rich.
Let's start calling it that.
Do what?
Pew pew. It's better.
Yeah, pew pew. If you have an iPhone,
Pew, pew.
send someone a message that's pew pew. You will enjoy it. So, yes, it has to be a text, so it can't be like WhatsApp or anything. It has to be an actual SMS text. So, or technically, iMessage. No, Carrie, not that.
Oh, so I'm missing out.
I don't know what
I
that
don't
does
have
on
an
an iPhone.
Yeah.
All right, Rich, coming in as an MCT, so Microsoft Certified Trainer. How do I get access to Copilot for demos, cost effective and performant? That is a great question. So I'm not aware of anything from a Fabric side, from an MCT perspective, but I do know there was a recent update on the M365 developer offer. Like they're making some changes on that side. So that may help you outside of Fabric. Fabric's not necessarily part of that. So today there's no option that I'm aware of. So Matthew says he handled that. Of course you did. Of course you did. What did Matthew say? Let's find out. Where? There it is. Yeah. So Matthew said, use a small capacity. So yes, so that's great. The recently announced Copilot can be leveraged even on an F2. So you can choose what you have there is to use it. But I get it as an MCT or like MVP or anything like that. Like, what are there any benefits there that help you prevent or reduce the cost? But we did just make the announcement that you could do it. And then Alex is also saying MCT should have the Azure credits as part of that. So yeah, you could use that for the so then you could spin up the F2 and then use Copilot. There you go. Winning all around. Matthew said something upstream. Indeed. We got it. Love it. Okay. Going back to the queue, Rich, hopefully that helps you out. And then user 457, just getting started with the world of Python. In my head, I read that as World of Warcraft, and I'm like, all right. I mean, that's cool. Not necessarily for this stream, but let's go. So I'm getting started with the world of Python. Any recommendations? Copilot.
Yeah, exactly. Agree.
Copilot.
Just go into Notebook, try to figure out what you want to do, and have Copilot do it for you, and then you're like, oh wow.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
So that's one. Like AI makes this incredibly interesting to learn and to get examples. I remember I'm very much the way I do things is I do better with examples, and then I can riff on the example. And so like back in the 1900s when I started developing, like that was hard to find. And so with AI today, it's amazing. It's a good starting point. But there's also tons of resources out there too. There's websites or there's YouTube channels like dedicated to just Python. And so you can learn all that. And I'm pretty sure like even Khan's Academy has stuff on that if you want like a more of a education approach. I would even look at some of the big colleges. So you look at like Stanford, Harvard, they have like some online free things that are available as well. So there's tons of stuff out there. Yeah. And then the Reddit. So tons of resources. Yeah. I started.
Christina had a good one.
Oh, Christina had one? What was it?
Yeah. No, because you can then ask your favorite AI to make a demo data set, and then you can use that to create Python things. So you can ask AI to just, how should I learn Python?
Yes.
And then give me some tasks, and then you have to solve them.
I watched something yesterday where it was interesting about like how to use AI better, like how to use it as a teammate instead of like just this tool that you've got. And so one of the suggestions he had, and I started doing this as of yesterday, is when you go in to ask a question, like you actually pose it as, hey, I want to ask this, but what questions do you have that would help you give me a better answer?
Oh, yeah.
And then it'll actually tell you how to tweak your prompt. So you're getting AI to help you build the prompt to get you the answer that you want. So
yeah,
I was like, that's cool.
I did that yesterday, actually, because I had to, can I do like a teaser? There's a video coming. We may or may not be using Copilot for that video. And that
may or may not be dropping next week.
I don't know.
You don't know?
I don't know.
You don't know?
But then I did that exact thing. I like, what should I prompt you to create that for me? Because you messed up. And you told me.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, now old chess man's asking me, where did I learn that from? And I'm like, YouTube, all the thing. YouTube knows everything. I learned it from YouTube. So like YouTube knows me very well because I watch a lot of YouTube. And it's recommended videos for me. Sometimes it throws me down rat holes I never expected to go down from a learning thing. Like random things, like knowing like how a dishwasher actually works and how to effectively use it. Like there was I just watched that video. It was amazing. By the way, run your hot water first before you start the dishwasher. Pro tip. And then, but yeah, there was a YouTube video I watched where it talked about that. What I'll do is I'll go back into my history and get the link, and then I'll put it in the community tab or the post tab. I don't know the community tab on the YouTube channel. And I'll just share that out there. It's a general good tip. I love it. Excellent. Master prompter. Toma, actually, that video argued against cleaning the dishes fully before you put it in the dishwasher if you use the dishwasher correctly, and their premise was most people don't, which is why you don't get good results out of the dishwasher. That. Yes. Oh. And so running the hot water before was the first big tip on there, is like you need to do that. And then anyway. All right. That's not what this channel is about.
Yeah, the things we learned today.
I know. I'm like,
wow.
We're just going and these
are the things I need to know. So this is good.
Yes, this is YouTube for me. I just learn random things, and then that sparks family conversation. Everyone's like, why do you even know that? I'm like, I don't know. It's whatever. Oh. Matthew, the answer to that is yes. Of course I do. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh. Yeah. No, whatever. I do dishes all the time. They come out just fine. All right, moving on. Christopher. I know. But Matthew, you should know I always like to give my opinion. Anyway, all right, Christopher. I work within a large hospital. Thank you for doing that. And am beginning to see capacity hitting or exceeding 100% on a P1. We're discussing separate capacities, but due to budget constraints, may not happen. Recommendations. Oh, I love this question. I love it. What do you think, Martha? What are their options if they're 100% maxed out on their P1? But they have budget constraints, so they can't necessarily buy more capacity.
Well, you could try and improve the things you have already, so you don't actually exceed that 100% limit. Or you could talk to Microsoft, and then they can give you some sort of deal and then maybe things can work out. You talk to like commercial people and like the customer agent people.
I don't
and you
know
just
where-
really hard on them, and they will be like, "Yeah, here's 3 things."
Okay, that's not what happens. So thank you for that, Martha. Oh my gosh, I'm like, wait, no, that's not what happens. Oh my god.
What?
I'm gonna say
I
that
always
is,
like be like, "Sorry." Yeah. You say
Okay.
not true? Oh.
yeah,
Oh.
yeah.
Okay, so
All
then
right.
you have to fix the things you have.
Well, so what I usually say is if you're like going over capacity and it's like consistent and it's not like just a weird spike or something. Oh my gosh. You have 3 options. You only ever have 3 options, right? The first one is to scale out. So that would be moving them to different workspaces on different capacities. And you said that you can't do that because of budget constraints. The other option is scale up. So go from a P1 to a P2. So basically you're throwing more money at it and, you know, hoping for the best. And then the third option, which most people don't do because it's time consuming and sometimes requires more expertise, is optimization. And so how do we get it to use less compute for more load, right? And so tuning things, making them faster. So typically it's between, in a general normal Power BI stance, it's about your data model and either the schema itself and or like DAX optimization. And so there's lots of resources out there to go help. Oh, Martha. Okay. So if you don't have money to scale up or scale out, your only other option is optimize. So how do you optimize the report? How do you optimize the model? Optimize the DAX, make sure it's running at peak performance. So we've got tons of videos on GuineCube on how to do that. So all of that stuff still applies.
Yeah. And you should always do it. I know. You should always do that, regardless of everything. Best practice stuff.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know.
Christina's throwing out some good things. So best practice analyzer, Measure Killer is a third-party tool that helps as well. Marco and Alberto over at SQL BI, they have a service also that you can use that'll tell you how to optimize items based on known issues and things of that nature. So it's a really good, lots of good info out there and lots of tools as well. So performance analyzer though, in Power BI desktop, start there. Yes.
Yeah, it's so cool that it's there. So everything is just
I know. That's
right
my
where
starting
you
point.
need it. You
go
don't
right
need
there.
third
You start there.
party tools anymore. Or I guess you do.
Well,
Okay.
you still do.
That was probably scary. I shouldn't have said that. Now someone's going to come for me.
No, well, like in DAX optimization or like data model optimization, there are still some things I need like DAX Studio for. So like if I want to see individual server timings or break down things, like I'm not going to get that in Power BI Desktop today. So yeah.
What about keep users busy with other tasks?
All right, I'm gonna go. So I saw Matthew's comment, and then this was a plus 100 to Christina's comment on things. So she said, this may be controversial, but start taking reports that perform poorly off the capacity and move it to a pro workspace until it meets certain standards. So yes, 100% on that. In fact, I was in a customer meeting at FabCon where we were talking about things, and one of the things I mentioned to them is something. I know Matthew and I have heard this before, just from some of the customer engagements that we've had and interviews and things like that. But one approach we've seen customers take is they have what they call the jail capacity, and so if you have more, not in Christopher's situation specifically, but like customers that have multiple capacities and they're worried about things. We've heard approaches where if you have if you're the bad performer, you're the bad actor and you're not optimizing your stuff, they throw you into a capacity jail, which is a lower capacity, and it forces you to have problems until you fix your thing, and then they'll move you back into the real world. So
You're on timeout.
Yeah,
Your
it's
report's on
timeout
timeout.
capacity, but I like the jail thing better. So
Yeah. We should do that more.
So that aligns with
bring that to
what
my
Christina was
projects.
saying. So, but yeah, like obviously, if money is a constraint, obviously you got to get creative and you got to try things. And so Christopher, good luck, but you got to optimize it. That's your only out. If you have no budget to do anything else. So, all right, cool. Moving on. All right, this is a interesting question. Does Microsoft, or when, I'm going to read this as, when will Microsoft bury Power BI desktop? And so I'm reading that as, when is desktop going away and we're just going to be web only? And I can tell you from my knowledge, like that's not even a consideration. So Power BI desktop is not going anywhere. So once we deprecate Windows, Alex said. Well, no, Alex, no, Alex, you need broader thinking, right? We need to think bigger picture here, because even if Windows got deprecated, well, then does that just make an opportunity for a Linux Power BI desktop? I don't know. The computer. There you go. That's bigger mind. Yeah. There you go. So cool. But yeah, no plans for Power BI desktop going away. Yeah, Matthew. I know. All right. What we got? If a dashboard is built on top of a lakehouse, so in this case, I'm reading this as dashboard is a report, a Power BI report, built on top of a lakehouse semantic model, should we add the user's AD groups to the gold lakehouse permission and semantic model permissions if users want to view the dashboards? Okay, so we have the lakehouse and we have the semantic model. And so I'm reading this as they want to know what permissions do we need on both if the user wants to view the report. So if they have viewer access to the workspace, it should work. So they should be able to see the report and all of that should be fine. Unless...
And this is like a direct lake connection, right? Because it's going to depend on that, won't it? Because you need, so if it's a direct lake mode, you do need viewer on the gold lakehouse to be able to actually look at the data in the report. But if it's import,
and I'm assuming mode, a direct lake model report. Well, it is direct lake, and the reason I say it is direct lake is because they're using the default semantic model that comes with the lakehouse, which is direct lake mode.
Oh, okay.
So yes, you do that, but if you're a viewer on the workspace, you naturally have access to all of that.
Yes,
so that's the
you
first
have
part.
Everything.
But if your viewer,
if it's in the same workspace.
So here's the challenge, though: is if you publish that to an app, now you have to deal with something else. And Martha did a video on that. On the whole fixed identity thing, on the semantic model cloud connection. However, I don't know. I want to say, I need to go back and look at that, but I want to say you can't do that on the default semantic model. I may be wrong, which means that you'd have to actually create a separate semantic model that does all of that. I'd have to test that, but anyway. And then the other scenario here, which Gaston just brought up in the chat, is if the report is in a different workspace than where the semantic model and Lakehouse are. And then you have to say, yes, they need permissions on the Lakehouse in order to be able to, so if they only have permissions to the report, it's not going to work on the Lakehouse. So you got to be careful with that if they don't have permission. But yeah, one security. Yeah. One lake security. One lake security.
One lake security.
Yes.
Woo-hoo-hoo.
Yes. So, yeah. All right. Cool.
Yeah.
And we do have a couple videos on the channel about the permissions thing. So, okay, let's move on.
All the things.
You good?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
I am.
Moving
There's
on.
just so much to pay attention to. The chat is like boom.
Yeah. Vroom, vroom.
Yeah. It's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
vroom, vroom.
Here we go. Here's the situation. I like this. We're setting it up. It's like once upon a time.
Okay.
We want to use Direct Lake. but we have RLS in the OLTP system. So OLTP system, yep. All right, so that's a separate data source. As RLS gets updated in real time, how does it get updated in real time? Using an embedding app. How do we make it work and move RLS to Lakehouse or data warehouse?
Ooh.
Wow. Okay.
Wait. So I'm not sure I understand the real-time embedded app thing. How would that work?
I'm going to ignore the real time in the embedded app because I don't know that it necessarily matters in this case. So,
okay.
Because ultimately, so we've got a data source. So think we've got like a Azure SQL database out there, right? And we've got RLS defined on Azure SQL database. And we've got but they want to use Direct Lake, right? So now we've got to do like the Lakehouse or the warehouse to get Direct Lake going, which is not entirely true. But from the RLS perspective, where the mix in there comes in is if we're relying on the data source, so you've got to move, he wants to move the RLS further downstream into either the lake or the warehouse. I would argue like, let's start leveraging one lake security at that point. But there are potentials. One thing you could do, you could mirror the data from Azure SQL database into OneLake. And then that would let you do Direct Lake on top of it. And then where you could, whatever credential you're using to go against the Azure SQL database bypasses RLS on that end if it can. And then at that point you establish RLS in OneLake itself. And then the Lakehouse and warehouse and Power BI will just take advantage of that. Donald, this sounds like a DP600 question. Potentially, yeah. So, yeah. So I mean, like, there's work you got to do. You got to stage that. You got to test it. You got to, don't break production, or you're probably gonna have some downtime for production when you go to do this because you've got to move everything. But that's where I start thinking about in terms of where you do this or how you do it, or if you didn't want to do the mirroring part of it, then I mean you've got to get the data. So if you said, I'm just going to do Lakehouse or warehouse, I want to do the RLS there. Okay, well, how do you get the data over to be represented if it's sitting in an external data source? So you've got to get that data into OneLake for all of this to happen. So, and that's got to do it in a way that's not affected by RLS. And then you can apply RLS from a Fabric side of it. So, okay. Any other thoughts on that, Martha? I know I talked a lot.
No, this is good. Well, it's a fun thing because now you could use OneLake security, and that's cool.
Yeah.
So like, just because it's cool. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Next question. So the Fabric data warehouse comes with a semantic model. Yes, the default semantic models for warehouse and Lakehouse, or you can create your own. Doesn't have to be that one. Does it support advanced concepts such as calculation groups? If not, is this on the pipeline? And so I want to say it wasn't there initially, but I thought we enabled that on Direct Lake models at this point. Like I thought you could do calculation groups. So in general, without the specific on the calculation groups, which I think you can do it, go check out this is a Direct Lake question. So a Direct Lake semantic model, like what does that support? What are the limitations of Direct Lake? And I'm sure the Direct Lake, Direct Lake overview, there's probably some limitation stuff, which there is, and I'll drop that in the chat. So these are the considerations and limitations. And so look at that. That will tell you if it's supported or not. Well, if it is supported, it may not be listed, but if it's not supported, it should be listed. Yeah. So go take a look at that. I don't know that I see anything popping out at me with calculation groups, so all good. All right, moving on. Tom. I am using the Snowflake mirror and it works great. Huzzah. but I need to push some data back into Snowflake from my Fabric warehouse. What's the best way to mirror back? Interesting. Interesting. There is not a bidirectional mirror, Tom. And so at this point, you'd have to get something from the Snowflake side. So there's nothing in Fabric that's going to do that for you. The only thing I could think of that could be interesting is if we did a shortcut to like an AWS Gen 2 storage, and then you had some notebook that's like replicating some of those files back. It's I personally think that's kind of clunky, but that would technically
Can you use
work.
Event Hub though? And then they can listen on the Event Hub. But I don't know if Snowflake. Snowflake expert here.
That seems very heavy to me. Like, because you're going to get all the cost of using Event Hub, so the Event Hub thing and some of the orchestration there, that's extra capacity that's going to be used. But the other thing from the Snowflake side is if you had something from whatever ETL process you use for Snowflake, like you've got all the endpoints to the data, but you're not going to it's not going to be like that CDC replicated type data. So yeah, there's some of the Snowflake things that are there as well is dumping those files into OneLake directly, but I'm sure you're going off to some other data store for that. So, yeah. Well, and so so a couple people in chat, when Gaston, let me just throw up Gaston's comment here. So if we go with Iceberg itself, and then instead of mirror, so you can see both. And so we could do a shortcut to the storage point for Snowflake, and then we can read the Iceberg stuff there. So, but that only works for Lakehouse. That doesn't work for Warehouse potentially. So the thing I'm catching up on is the fact that you said Warehouse. So like that's a potential challenge. And so I'd love to understand more about the scenario and like what you're trying to solve there, Tom. So cool. Hopefully that helps. I don't know if it did. All right. And we did Jarrell's, and then we got another super chat in here from Ramesh. Thank you, Ramesh. How are we doing on time? Oh, all right. Clock is ticking. All right, I gotta pull it up again so I can read it. All right, so delays in synchronizing the Lakehouse with the SQL endpoint. Any workarounds we can implement until it's resolved? We have some import model refreshes via semantic labs after write to Lakehouse. Is this the schema issue? Alex, keep me honest. It's the MD sync, or no, that would only affect the semantic model. Would that affect the SQL endpoint as well? I know there was an MD sync thing going on that caused a lot of that. Hang on. Yeah, that's the Matthew. That's where I'm going. It sounded like the MD sync thing. Let me see if I've got. Where is it? Do we have any article that talks about that? I know it's gone around. I remember hearing about it internally on the Microsoft side, but related to like customer issues, but I'm not aware of any like doc. Mark has a blog. Excellent. That's right. Mark Price Mayer. Mark. Yeah. Hey, Alex. Where'd Alex go to? Price Mayer blog. Let's see if I can find it. Because Hey Alex command is broken. There it is. Wait, you got it, and it's a Reddit link. Is this the one we need? Let's see. I test the links before other people have to do it. There we go. All right, cool. Yeah.
It looks like what we need.
Yeah. All right, so that link. There you go. So delays in synchronizing the Lakehouse with the SQL endpoint. Bam. So, but like my question is this this is the MD sync thing, right? Yeah, it's got to be. Okay, cool. I'm like, I'm checking the link before I put it up on the screen. I just do that in general. I'm not gonna always be safe. Better to be safe than sorry. All right. Cool. Thank you, Alex. This is the thing with Copilot sometimes is sometimes it can take a little longer than you normally think. And that's what happened at Hey Alex today. So maybe we got throttled. I don't know. Slowed it down a little bit. All right. Thomas, how do we solve data quality issues with a data lake data source?
This is a it depends one.
Is it? Okay. Tell me more.
Don't you think?
Tell me more.
Well, because this is to me, it's a very open question. Because what's the problem? Is it your data coming into the data lake? Can you even do anything to fix that before it comes in? If not, can you fix it on the way out? Can you have like schema checks? Can you do you have great expectations as a framework you could take advantage of, which is kind of cool if you're
Great
using
Expectations. Is that like the Charles Dickens novel?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
You read the books about Dickens and he's going to fix the data quality for you.
Yeah. Yeah. The book Great Expectations by Charles Dickens. That's how you fix data quality. It's okay.
Wait.
No, I get you. I'm with you.
Someone find a link.
The link for what?
And then, and you could also monitor the quality with Preview in your data lake.
Oh, there it is.
Oh, if it's in Fabric, if your data lake is in Fabric, I'm assuming now it's in Fabric. I understand it might
Of course,
not be,
everything's in Fabric.
but if it is, exactly.
Yes.
If it is, you can put up your data quality rules and then checks, and then you can have alerts. People can get emails if they need to fix things. You can get suggestions of what you need to fix. It's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so
all the things.
Thomas, I would, the way I look at it though is like you said, how do I look at data quality issues from a direct lake or from a data lake data source? And I would say in the past with any data that you've ever worked with, forget, it doesn't have to be Fabric or whatever. How would you handle data quality issues? Right. So you got to go figure out where did the data get messed up and then go fix that. It's coming from upstream somewhere. And so it's either in the ETL process that got it there and landed it there, or it's just bad data to begin with, right? And was never fixed up. And so maybe that's going to be part of your ETL process, or you've got something that's running that works with the data or helps shape the data. So either fix it further upstream or you patch it downstream. That's how you do it. All right. We got time for one more question. Let's see here. Let's go with Mosin. Let's see what this is. All right. I practiced your swapping visual video from the Bookmarks playlist. Amazing. So if I select something and then switch and then come back, the selection state doesn't maintain. Is there any way to do this? Ooh, that's a good question. So the problem is, so let me go, I'm going to pull up my desktop, but I don't know how much of this I'm actually going to be able to show. So let's see here. So when you're doing a swap of the visuals, so I thought I had that here somewhere. So if I do, decomp. Yeah. So this is effectively swapping. And so here, if I select mail and go there and then I do return and then I come back, you see that mail is still selected, right? So it didn't change the state of the visual. It's just swapping the actual, the visual piece of it. And so where it really comes down, and there's some other, so go check out the other videos in that playlist, because I think the mastering one, I think I talk about this a little bit. But in the bookmarks, where's my bookmarks pane? Right there. Within the options that you, no, not that. So typically it's going to come down to these items. And so I don't have data selected. And so I'd have to test it to see if that's actually what's saving the state there. But it's play around with these settings to figure out what actually gets it working for you or not. The other thing I do as well is I make sure I'm always using selective visuals and not all visuals. The selective visuals is really the thing that you want to focus on, and make sure that you only have the visuals selected that are affected by that bookmark, instead of doing the whole page, because that could also mess with things as well. And so that makes sure that any selections I do on other visuals isn't necessarily going to affect, like, from a bookmark perspective. So yeah, so hopefully that helps you out. All right, Martha, we made it. We still had a bunch of questions in the queue. We didn't get to all of them. So yeah, we did it. And we didn't even need Patrick.
Flew by.
We didn't even need.
We didn't.
Yeah. So, Martha, any closing words of wisdom?
Oh yeah. Okay. So
I did prep Martha this time.
Yeah, like 1 second before we I got 1 second. But I think it has to be that you should not rinse your dirty dishes before you put them into the dishwasher.
Oh my gosh. Wow. Okay. Great.
But
great words of wisdom.
I'm gonna bring that into the day, into my life. That's wisdom. Yeah.
There you go.
For sure.
All right. And then from me, and I'm gonna say from Patrick also, if you still have parents in your life, just go give them a hug.
Yeah.
Go give them a hug. Maybe tell them that you love
that was
them.
much better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I agree.
So go do that. All right. And use the dishwasher correctly.
And the dishwasher. Yeah.
All right, everyone. Thank you so much. Thanks for joining us. We'll be back next Saturday. Have a great week, and we'll see you out there.
Thank you, guys.
No, the devil's got no hold on me. No, I try getting farther, keep my feet from the stray, but the road gets harder and I get led away. You see, can't you see? He won't let